Welcome back, Wellness Warriors, to the Entheozen Explorer channel. Now, you may or may not know me, but my name is Caitlin Thompson, and I'm a bit of a psychonaut. Psychedelic substances have recently experienced a renaissance in the fields of medicine, therapy, and spirituality. One psychedelic compound in particular that has gained a lot of publicity and popularity lately is 5-MeO-DMT, or 5-methoxy-DMT. Now, in this video, I'm going to share with you my personal account of one of the deepest and most profound psychedelic and spiritual experiences that I've ever had in my life. The first time that I ever smoked 5-MeO-DMT. Now, before we dive into that one time that I melted into God, let me tell you a little bit about 5-MeO-DMT first and where it comes from. 5-MeO-DMT is a naturally occurring molecule that is found in plants, animals, and even the human brain. It's considered a neurotransmitter and has psychoactive effects, especially when used in the Amazonian traditional ritual of a snuff called yopo. It's also contained in the defensive secretion of the Sonoran desert toad, or Bufo alvarius. The substance is often vaporized and inhaled with rapid onset. Many people report experiencing merging with God, white light, ego dissolution, and shamanic death experience. Many people have very profound spiritual experiences and may experience the sense of leaving their body and then returning in some sort of rebirth process. The experience generally lasts between 10 to 45 minutes, on average about 20 minutes. Now, don't be confused between NN or regular DMT and 5-MeO-DMT. Even though they molecularly are somewhat similar, they're totally different creatures and the experiences can be quite different. Now, high doses of NN regular DMT can create an experience that may be similar to 5-MeO-DMT as far as the ego dissolution and sense of death and rebirth and white light and whatnot. But with NN regular DMT, you tend to have more opportunities to experience otherworldly visions, geometric patterns, or perhaps encounters with beings or entities. And in general, you don't really experience that with 5-MeO-DMT. I like to say that NN-DMT is like taking the stairs to God, where there's a lot of things that you may pass on the way there, whereas 5-MeO-DMT is like taking the elevator just straight to God. So there is a difference in the experience and the potency of the molecules, so don't get confused between NN-DMT and 5-MeO-DMT. They are different animals. So now I'll share with you what my first 5-MeO-DMT experience was like. I was invited by a trusted friend to come and experience a ceremony in which I would be inhaling 5-MeO-DMT. And there was a very lovely ceremony space set up with a handful of trusted friends. And when it was my turn to go, I used this device that was actually built by someone I know that uses argon gas, which is a noble gas, to vaporize the substance in this inert gas for ease of delivery. And I inhaled it all in one breath. And before I was even done exhaling, I was completely launched out of my body and I was submerged in this iridescent white light. Probably 10 minutes or so in real life time. I was like evaporated into this globulating pool of rainbowy white light, and I had no sense of who I was, what I was doing there, or any identity at all. I felt this vast, expansive feeling that I had merged with this white network of light, and I could feel the expansive, vast nature of it. It felt infinitely large, and yet I could feel that I was a part of all of it, and I actually was all of it. I do remember parts of me, like even though I was in this white light and didn't know what was going on, there was parts of my brain that were like conscious and of my body. And I remember touching my face and feeling like my nose and mouth and stuff. It was like my body was like checking to make sure it was still there and okay. But that was like parallelly happening while I was in this other higher consciousness space where I didn't even know what a human was. I didn't know what anything was. I felt like I completely just returned back to the universal source of all energy and consciousness and life force. And suddenly I started to see silhouettes that became darker and more clear. And then I realized that these were people. And then I slowly realized they were my friends. They were people I knew. And then I started to come slowly back into the awareness of the room. And I was like, oh, these are my friends. This is a room that I'm in. I'm a person. I'm Caitlin. I just smoked this thing. That's what happened. And my awareness of my body and the world slowly just kind of came back down on a cloud. And as soon as I realized what I had just seen and what I had just also come back to, I was overwhelmed with bliss and euphoria and joy. And I immediately reached out to my friends, my peers, just in ecstatic gratitude for the experience. And I think the very first thing that I said when I kind of came out of it was, "This is amazing," something like that. And yeah, it really changed my life. And I've had hundreds and hundreds of psychedelic experiences at this point, but that one remains to be one of the most important, where I had that full body release, where I fully stepped into that void, into another realm without my meat suit. And I haven't had too many other psychedelic experiences like that because I'm always a bit attached to my reality, for better or worse. And for about like 2 weeks after the experience, I was just absolutely elated and ecstatic. And I felt like I needed to tell everybody about this experience. So I probably shared it with people I shouldn't have, but I felt like I needed to let everyone know. Everyone walking on the street called my parents, "Hey Mom, you'll never believe I saw God." And she's like, "That's nice, honey. Is that safe?" But for the next several weeks, I just was in absolute bliss and like walking on cloud nine, because I had so much gratitude for the opportunity to be in this body, in this life, to be a human being privileged to experience the beauty of this magical world that we get to participate in. And it just felt like such a precious gift to me after I had crossed over and felt what it was like to not have that. I realized how precious this life is that we're given. And like anyone else, sometimes I forget this deep lesson that I learned in the process, but I'm able to be reminded when I, have other psychedelic experiences or meditation or other ecstatic experiences where I go back to that space that I touched when I smoked the 5-MeO-DMT. And for that, I am forever grateful that I've accessed that space, that I've opened that door, because it's always there. And now, when I feel overwhelmed, scared, when I feel distrusting of the universe, I'm able to tap back in to that wisdom of the universal source and the intelligence of it, and the safety and the bliss that I felt in that space of death, and be reminded that all is well. So that's kind of sums up my first 5-MeO-DMT experience. Now, I want to stress the importance of taking safety precautions if you decide to participate in a 5-MeO-DMT ceremony. In general, it's a very physiologically safe substance when administered properly by a facilitator, but it does have some risks when done incorrectly. Be sure that you feel safe and that you can trust your practitioner. And if you don't feel attended to and that they are being thorough with taking any precautions, do not move forward with sitting with them. Choose another practitioner. There are plenty available. I've included a link in the description to a guide that was created by a number of experienced 5-MeO-DMT practitioners that created the guide to help you know how to choose the right practitioner for your needs. Your practitioner should also do some sort of medical screening and screening for contraindications to make sure that it is physiologically and psychologically safe for you to receive 5-MeO-DMT. Again, if you don't feel emotionally and physically safe with your practitioner, choose another one. It's a very vulnerable space to be in, and it's just not worth it, and you can come out of the experience traumatized if the space isn't held properly for you. Never combine medications with SSRI or MAOI properties with 5-MeO-DMT. They can produce something called serotonin syndrome when combined, which can be toxic and fatal if left untreated. I made a video about serotonin syndrome that you can learn more if you want to dive deeper into that, but do not mix monoamine oxidase inhibitors or SSRIs with 5-MeO-DMT. Yes, this also includes the ayahuasca vine and the MAOIs in the vine. Now, I know that in ayahuasca brew, regular DMT is mixed with monoamine oxidase inhibitors from the ayahuasca vine, and this appears to be physiologically safe. However, it is not safe to mix 5-MeO-DMT with the ayahuasca vine or MAOIs like found in the ayahuasca vine. So please make the distinction that it is not safe to take MAOIs with 5-MeO-DMT. It's also very important that you make sure ahead of time that you have the proper support and comfortable environment that you can integrate and process the experience afterwards. Make sure that you have a trusted friend or perhaps a therapist that's available to you if you need some help processing the experience. Oftentimes, smoking 5-MeO-DMT can be a little bit disorienting and disruptive, and it's really crucial that you have a soft landing where you can process and digest and understand the experience that you had in a way that you'll feel safe and not overwhelmed. So make sure that you have the proper support in place ahead of time rather than as an afterthought. I hope you enjoyed hearing about my profound 5-MeO-DMT experience, and hopefully now you also have some tools to equip you to finding the right practitioner that will help you feel safe and supported in your process. If you've experienced 5-MeO-DMT, be sure to comment below and let us know what your experience was like. And if you have any questions about my experience, feel free to ask. I would be happy to share more. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe to the Entheogen Explorer channel because every week I come out with new videos that help empower you with tools to stay happy, whole, and healthy. This video is brought to you by Entheogen, which is my nutritional supplement company, where we are dedicated to providing nutritional solutions to brain and mood health that are designed to balance brain chemistry and optimize our emotional resilience and ability to handle life's bullshit that it dishes out. So if you want to give our supplements a try, they're scientifically formulated and they contain a number of really awesome hand-picked ingredients that allow for a resilient, vibrant, and healthy, happy brain. There's a link below in the description where you can get 20% off if you want to try it out. And I'll catch you guys next time. Love you, Wellness Warriors. Smile on. Mwah.